The impossible stand. The stars stretched endlessly outside the viewports of the UES Horizon. Humanity's most advanced warship, Captain Maya Rice, stood on the bridge, her dark eyes scanning the tactical display with growing concern. The Horizon was supposed to be on a routine patrol mission, but what they had stumbled upon was anything but routine. "Confirm those readings, Lieutenant Chen," Maya ordered, her voice steady despite the cold dread forming in her stomach. "Confirmed, Captain. 67 Craxian warships in formation at coordinates 227 to 800 and 93041. They appear to be waiting for something." Chen's fingers danced across the holographic interface. "Their energy signatures are dampened. They're trying to hide." Maya's jaw tightened. The Craxian Empire had been systematically expanding through the galaxy for the past century, assimilating or destroying any civilization they encountered. Humanity had managed to stay under their radar for decades through careful diplomacy and by hiding their true military capabilities. That fragile peace had shattered 6 months ago when a Craxian scout discovered Earth's quantum fold technology, a revolutionary propulsion system that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. "They're positioned directly in the path between us and Outpost Delta," Commander Jackson observed, his weathered face grave. Outpost Delta was more than just a research station. It housed the only working prototype of humanity's new defensive shield system, one that could potentially neutralize the Craxians' devastating plasma cannons. "This is no coincidence," Maya said. "They know about Delta. This is an ambush fleet waiting for our supply convoy." The bridge fell silent. The convoy was scheduled to arrive in less than 10 hours, carrying essential components for the shield system and crewed by over 300 civilian engineers and their families. "We need to warn them," Lieutenant Chen said. "If we break communications silence, we'll reveal our position," Jackson countered. Maya studied the tactical display, mind racing through possibilities. The Horizon was the pride of the United Earth Fleet, equipped with the latest quantum fold drive, adaptive armor plating, and experimental weapon systems. But even with all these advantages, they were still just one ship against 67. "What if we don't need to warn them?" Maya finally said. "What if we remove the threat?" Jackson's eyebrows shot up. "Captain, with all due respect, that's suicide." "Not necessarily." Maya approached the tactical display, zooming in on the Craxian formation. "Look at how they're positioned. They're expecting the convoy to come through the Halcyon corridor. They don't know we're here, which gives us the element of surprise. Even with surprise, we can't take on their entire fleet," Chen protested. "We don't need to defeat them all," Maya said, a plan forming in her mind. "We just need to disrupt their formation and create enough chaos for the convoy to detect the danger and change course." The senior officers exchanged glances. What their captain was proposing bordered on madness, but in the 6 years Maya Rice had commanded the Horizon, she had never led them astray. "Plot a course that will bring us in behind their detection grid," Maya ordered. "Lieutenant Chen, prepare the Maelstrom missiles. Commander Jackson, I want power diverted from non-essential systems to shields and weapons." The bridge erupted into focused activity as the crew carried out her orders. Maya returned to her command chair, feeling the familiar weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. Her mind flashed to the 300 civilians on the approaching convoy, families who would have no chance against a Craxian ambush. "Captain." The ship's eye, Apollo, interrupted her thoughts. "I've analyzed the Craxian formation. Their flagship, the Dominion, is positioned at these coordinates. It appears to be coordinating the fleet's movements." The holographic display highlighted a massive vessel near the center of the formation. The Dominion was nearly 4 times the size of the Horizon, a looming behemoth that served as the command center for the entire Craxian battle group. Maya studied the display, a crazy idea forming. If we could disable their flagship, the rest of the fleet would fall into disarray. Jackson finished, catching on to her thinking. But getting close enough to the Dominion would mean navigating through their entire defensive screen. Not necessarily, Maya said. Apollo, what if we executed a series of micro-jumps using the quantum fold drive? The AI paused, calculating. Theoretically possible, Captain, but extremely risky. The drive was not designed for such precise, sequential jumps. Each jump would require a 15-second recalibration, during which we would be vulnerable. But it could work, Maya pressed. Yes, Captain. I calculate a 27% chance of success. Jackson frowned. Those aren't good odds. Better than the convoy's chances against a Craxian ambush, Maya countered. She turned to her tactical officer. Lieutenant Rodriguez, map a sequence of 5 micro-jumps that will position us within striking distance of the Dominion. Each jump should last no more than 3 seconds. Rodriguez nodded, his fingers already working the calculations. Maya turned to address the entire bridge. I won't lie to you. What we're about to attempt has never been done before. The risks are extreme. But if we don't act, hundreds of civilians will die, and humanity will lose its best chance at developing a defense against Craxian aggression. She paused, looking at each officer in turn. Their faces showed determination and resolve despite the fear they must all be feeling. Prepare for combat operations. All hands to battle stations. Throughout the horizon, alarm klaxons blared as the crew rushed to their positions. Engineers secured sensitive equipment, medical teams prepared for casualties, and gunners manned weapon stations. In the engine room, Chief Engineer Takahashi personally supervised the quantum fold drive preparations. Micro-jump sequence plotted and ready, Captain, Rodriguez reported. All systems at combat readiness, Jackson added. Maya took a deep breath. Initiate stealth systems and begin approach. The horizon's external lights dimmed as special adaptive coating absorbed ambient radiation, rendering the warship nearly invisible against the backdrop of space. The massive engines powered down to minimal output, reducing their energy signature to little more than background noise. Slowly, the human vessel crept toward the unsuspecting Craxian fleet. For 20 tense minutes, they moved in absolute silence, the bridge crew barely daring to breathe as they closed the distance. We're in position for the first jump, Rodriguez finally whispered. Maya nodded. Execute jump sequence on my mark. She paused, knowing that once they began, there would be no turning back. For Earth, she said quietly, then louder. Mark. The quantum fold drive engaged with a high-pitched whine. For a split second, reality seemed to bend around the horizon. Then they were elsewhere, having covered millions of kilometers in the blink of an eye. Before the Craxian ships could react, the drive engaged again, and again, each jump bringing them closer to the heart of the enemy formation. Alarms blared across the Craxian fleet as the impossible happened, a human warship materializing directly in their midst. Confusion rippled through their ranks, their perfect formation dissolving into chaos as ships struggled to bring weapons to bear on the target that kept disappearing before they could lock on. Final jump complete. Rodriguez called out, "We're 2,000 kilometers from the Dominion. They're powering up weapons," Chen warned. "Fire Maelstrom missiles, full spread," Maya ordered. The horizon shuddered as 16 missiles launched from its forward bays. Unlike conventional warheads, Maelstrom missiles were designed to disrupt energy fields and electronic systems rather than cause physical damage. They streaked toward the Craxian flagship, their quantum-encrypted guidance systems making them nearly impossible to track. Incoming fire, Jackson warned as dozens of Craxian vessels turned their weapons toward the horizon. Evasive maneuvers, Maya called out. Defensive countermeasures. The ship lurched violently as Lieutenant Park, their pilot, executed a series of tight turns and rolls. Chaff launchers fired, filling space with metallic particles and sensor-confusing drones. Despite their efforts, several energy blasts struck the horizon's shields, making the entire ship shudder. Shields at 82%, Chen reported. On the main view screen, Maya watched as the Maelstrom missiles reached their target. The first wave impacted the Dominion's shields, creating cascading disruptions across their energy grid. The second wave penetrated these weakened defenses, detonating inside the ship's defensive perimeter. Direct hits. Rodriguez cheered. Their main power systems are fluctuating. For a moment, it seemed they might succeed, but the moment was short-lived. The Craxian fleet was recovering from their surprise, dozens of warships now moving to surround the horizon. "Captain, we have multiple lock-ons from all directions," Chen reported, her voice tight with tension. "Quantum fold drive status?" Maya asked. "Still recalibrating," Rodriguez answered. 40 seconds until we can jump again." Maya grimaced. 40 seconds was an eternity in space combat. Maintain evasive maneuvers. All power to shields and point defense systems. Space lit up around them as the Craxian ships opened fire, a barrage of energy weapons and missiles converging on the lone human warship. The Horizon's defenses worked frantically, intercepting missiles and deflecting energy blasts, but they were hopelessly outnumbered. Impact after impact hammered the shields. Consoles exploded in showers of sparks as power surges overloaded systems. Emergency lighting activated as the main power fluctuated. Shields at 47%. Chen called out over the chaos. "Hull breaches on decks 4 and 7. Seal those sections," Jackson ordered. "Damage control teams respond." Maya held tight to her command chair as the ship rocked violently around her. The situation was deteriorating rapidly, but she refused to abandon their mission. The lives of too many depended on their success. "Rodriguez, status of the Dominion," she demanded. The tactical officer studied his display through the smoke filling the bridge. "Their main systems are still disrupted, but they're rerouting power. They'll be operational again in minutes." Maya's mind raced. Their original plan was falling apart, but perhaps there was still a way. Her eyes fell on the ship's power distribution diagram, focusing on one particular system. "Apollo, what's the status of the experimental resonance cannon?" The AI's response was immediate. "The resonance cannon is fully charged but untested in combat conditions. The potential for catastrophic feedback is significant." Maya's expression hardened. The resonance cannon was the Horizon's most closely guarded secret, a weapon that could theoretically target and disrupt the specific atomic frequency of any material. It had been developed based on recovered Craxian technology, but had never been used in actual combat due to its unpredictable nature. "Target the Dominion's main reactor core," she ordered. "Configure the resonance frequency to match their containment field harmonics." "Captain," Jackson protested, "if the resonance cannon malfunctions, the feedback could destroy us. And if we do nothing, we're destroyed anyway," Maya countered. "This is our only chance to complete the mission." As the Horizon continued to take devastating hits, the weapons team configured the resonance cannon. On the tactical display, Maya could see the Craxian ships closing in, tightening the noose around their wounded vessel. "Resonance cannon configured and ready," Rodriguez reported. "Shields at 23%, Chen added grimly. "We can't take much more of this." Maya took a deep breath. Target locked on the Dominion's reactor core. Then fire. Defiance beyond reason. A single pulse of energy, invisible to the naked eye, but detectable as a rippling distortion in space, lanced out from the horizon toward the Craxian flagship. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then, alarms blared across the bridge. "Energy feedback detected," Rodriguez shouted. "The cannon systems are overloading. Divert power." "Emergency shutdown," Maya ordered, but it was too late. A blast of energy surged through the Horizon's weapon systems, blowing out conduits and causing cascading failures throughout the ship. The lights flickered and died, leaving only the dim emergency lighting. "Main power offline," Chen reported, her voice eerily calm in the sudden quiet. "Weapons systems disabled. Life support on auxiliary power." Maya waited for the inevitable, the final barrage from the Craxian ships that would destroy them. Instead, strange readings began appeaing on the few functioning sensors. "Captain, you need to see this," Rodriguez called, his voice filled with disbelief. On the view screen, displaying a grainy partial image from their damaged sensors, Maya saw something impossible. The Dominion, the massive Craxian flagship, was experiencing some kind of systemic failure. Energy coursed across its hull in brilliant blue arcs. Smaller Craxian vessels nearby were experiencing similar phenomena, their systems apparently linked through some kind of command network. "What's happening?" Maya demanded. "The resonance pulse," Apollo explained, its synthetic voice filled with what almost sounded like wonder. It created a cascading harmonic disruption in their quantum communication network. "The effect is spreading from ship to ship." Maya watched in astonishment as the Craxian vessels began drifting, their engines and weapon systems seemingly disabled by the spreading disruption. "Status of the quantum fold drive?" she asked. "Operational, but at reduced capacity," Chief Engineer Takahashi reported from engineering. "We can manage one jump, maybe two, but the precision will be compromised." Maya nodded. "Plot a jump to these coordinates." She sent a location just outside the Craxian formation, where they could observe without being immediately threatened. The damaged drive engaged with a concerning vibration that could be felt throughout the ship. The stars blurred, and when they resolidified, the horizon was safely outside the disabled Craxian fleet. "Begin damage assessment and repairs," Maya ordered. "Priority to life support, shields, and communication systems. We need to warn the convoy." As the crew carried out her orders, Maya studied the Craxian fleet. The disruption effect was continuing to spread, with ship after ship losing power and drifting out of formation. "Apollo, analyze what happened. Why did our weapon have this effect?" The AI processed for several seconds. The resonance cannon was designed to disrupt specific atomic frequencies. However, it appears the Craxian fleet uses a quantum-entangled communication system that operates on similar principles. When we targeted their reactor, we inadvertently created a feedback loop in their entire command network. So we didn't just disable their flagship, Jackson realized. We infected their entire fleet with some kind of quantum virus. "A crude but accurate analogy," Apollo confirmed. Maya's tactical mind immediately grasped the implications. This could change everything. If we can replicate this effect. Her thoughts were interrupted by a new alert. "Captain, we're detecting multiple quantum fold signatures approaching rapidly," Chen reported. "Configuration unknown, but definitely not Craxian." "Defensive positions," Maya ordered, though she knew the horizon was in no condition for another battle. The space around them rippled as 5 sleek vessels emerged from quantum jumps. Their design was unlike anything Maya had seen before. Organic curves blending seamlessly with technological components, their hulls shimmering with an iridescent material that seemed to change color as they moved. "We're being hailed," Chen announced, surprise evident in her voice. "On screen," Maya ordered, straightening in her chair despite her exhaustion. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a humanoid figure with silver-blue skin and large, pupilless eyes. Intricate patterns swirled across its face and bare arms, glowing with internal light. "Captain Maya Rise of the United Earth Ship Horizon." The being spoke, its voice melodic and strangely soothing. "I am Sentinel Thalia of the Nexus Collective. We have been observing." Maya tensed. "Observing what, exactly?" "Your conflict with the Craxian Empire. And more importantly, your solution." Thalia's expression was unreadable. "What you have discovered, quite by accident, it seems, is something we have been seeking for centuries. The quantum disruption effect," Maya realized. Thalia nodded. "The Craxian Empire has dominated this sector of the galaxy for millennia, using their quantum network technology to coordinate their fleets with perfect efficiency. No single civilization has been able to stand against them, until now." Jackson leaned closer to Maya. "Captain, this could be a trap," he whispered. Maya considered this, but shook her head slightly. If they wanted to destroy us, they could have done so already. She addressed Thalia again. Why reveal yourselves to us now? Because you have proven yourselves worthy of alliance. Thalia's face shifted into what might have been a smile. The Nexus Collective is an association of species who have hidden from Craxian expansion, developing our technologies in secret. We have been watching humanity for some time, impressed by your adaptability and resilience. And now, Maya asked, now we propose cooperation. Your quantum resonance technology, combined with our understanding of Craxian systems, could finally break their hold on the galaxy. Thalia's eyes seemed to glow brighter, but we must act quickly. The effect you created is temporary. Within hours, the Craxian fleet will recover. Maya looked at her bridge officers, seeing their expressions range from hope to skepticism. The decision before her was monumental, committing humanity to an interstellar alliance with beings they had just met, against an empire that had dominated the galaxy for thousands of years. What guarantee do we have that your intentions are peaceful? She asked. Humanity has survived by being cautious. A wise policy, Thalia acknowledged. We offer this as a gesture of trust. She made a gesture, and data began streaming to the Horizon's computers. Captain, Apollo reported, they're transmitting detailed schematics of Craxian defense systems, as well as coordinates for what appear to be their primary shipyards and command centers. This information would take us decades to gather on our own, Jackson murmured, clearly impressed. Maya studied Thalia, making her decision. We will need to consult with Earth Command before forming any official alliance, but in the immediate term, we accept your assistance. Thalia nodded. Our engineers will help repair your vessel. Meanwhile, we must prepare for the Craxians' recovery. They will not forgive this defeat easily. Over the next several hours, the Nexus Collective vessels surrounded the horizon, extending energy fields that accelerated the repair process. Their engineers, beings from at least 3 different species, worked alongside the human crew, marveling at Earth technology even as they enhanced it with their own. Maya used the time to contact Earth Command through a secure quantum channel provided by the collective. The response was cautious but ultimately supportive. Humanity had been preparing for eventual conflict with the Craxians for years, and an alliance with advanced civilizations could only improve their chances. As repairs neared completion, Maya called a meeting with Thalia and her senior officers in the Horizon's conference room. The convoy has been redirected safely, she informed them. But we still face a significant problem. Once the Craxian fleet recovers, they'll report back to their central command. They'll adapt their systems to prevent our resonance weapon from working again. That is expected, Thalia agreed. But they are unaware of a critical weakness in their network architecture, one that we discovered centuries ago, but lacked the means to exploit. She activated a holographic display, showing the intricate web of connections that made up the Craxian quantum network. Their entire empire is connected through quantum entanglement. Every ship, every base, every colony. It is their greatest strength, allowing instant communication and coordination across vast distances. But it is also their greatest vulnerability. Maya began to understand. If we could trigger a large enough disruption, it would cascade throughout their entire empire, Thalia finished. Not destroying them, but temporarily severing their connections. Each Craxian world and fleet would be isolated, forced to act independently without central coordination, creating chaos that would take them years to recover from, Jackson realized. Time for the rest of us to prepare a united defense. Or negotiate from a position of strength, Maya added. Not all Craxians support their empire's expansionist policies. With their network disrupted, reformed factions might gain influence. The plan that formed over the next few hours was audacious. The Horizon, equipped with enhanced resonance technology from the collective, would lead a small fleet of Nexus vessels in a precise strike against the Craxian Central Network Hub, a heavily defended installation hidden deep in their territory. Before they departed, Maya addressed her crew one final time. 24 hours ago, we were a lone ship facing impossible odds. Now we stand at the beginning of a new chapter for humanity, not as victims or targets, but as equals in a galactic community. What we do next will echo through history, not just for Earth, but for countless worlds oppressed by Craxian rule. She looked at the faces before her, human and alien alike, united in purpose. The odds are still against us, but that's nothing new for humanity. Throughout our history, we've faced extinction-level threats, ice ages, plagues, climate collapse, even our own nuclear weapons. Each time, we survived through innovation, cooperation, and sheer stubborn refusal to give up. She smiled. It seems those qualities are rarer in the galaxy than we thought. Our new allies value them, and our enemies fear them. So let's show the Craxians exactly why they should have left Earth alone. As the Horizon jumped into quantum space alongside their new allies, Maya Rice felt something she hadn't experienced since the war began. Hope. The lone human warship that had stood against an empire had found something more valuable than victory. It had found friends among the stars. And together, they would change the galaxy.